melodies wave a spell of enchantment, and the spirit of Venice herself comes alive in a celebration of splendor and mystery.
How did I come to attend Venice's most exclusive ball in Italy in February? It's not as easy as it looks. I do, as a journalist, have the advantage of being thrown invitations so I can cover events. But what I don't have is a budget or any security, and quite often a lot of what I'm doing just comes together in a miraculous fashion because I keep pressing, trying to open doors. I'm lucky enough over the 25 years of my career to have established quite a few contacts. So I did get to go to the Ballo del Doge on the 1st of March in Venice, and it wasn't planned. I was actually heading to another ball. Sorry guys, I didn't make it in March, from the Doria Pamphili family in Rome. But needs must. I was sitting in my apartment in February when I got a message saying that one of the newspapers I write for could no longer pay for me to write any stories from the Berlin Film Festival in February, which is where I started my career as the Berlin bureau chief. That's a lot to take. And the reality is that the reason papers like The Guardian or agencies like AFP have messages on their websites asking for donations is because we're basically starving to death. I have racked up 100,000 euros in debt in 10 years as a journalist to keep going because I now pay my own expenses, I often write for free, and there's no security, and the mess of getting paid has always been the same. It takes months, if not years. It's got a bit better now that so many people are running their own shows, but I basically was told at the 11th hour there was no budget for me to cover the festival, and I reinvented a whole trip because I already had a ticket booked to Berlin from Paris. I decided to do a story on revisiting Berlin after 25 years. It's where I started my career, and to see what's changed. I was planning to come back to Paris, in fact, and spend a couple of days and go down to the ball in Rome when I found out about an incredibly interesting sustainable swimming pool in Austria. At the same time, an invitation popped up, or a press release in my inbox about a ball, and I'd written about the organizer of this ball, a fashion designer, before, and she was also having a 30-year retrospective on fashion. So I did instead somehow miraculously manage to reroute into Venice. I had to get people to sponsor me, I had to get hotels to host me, I had to get train companies like Trainline, thank you very much, to host me, to give me train tickets rather. I got places like the Trois Hotel in Basel in Switzerland. It's only a 5-star hotel, to give me a bed on the way back. thank you very much to Generator, the youth hostel group, for giving me a super funky room at the top of their Giudecca youth hostel in Venice to allow me to go to this ball. And in the middle of all that, my funding fell through. My funding is that I rent my apartment out on Airbnb when I travel. But increasingly there are these hysterical guests that arrive that create problems and then you don't get paid. I actually found myself going through 3 countries with 15 euros thanks to some hysterical guests dissing my apartment and not paying me. It's beautiful, it's cleaned, it's meticulous. And by the time I got to Venice and I had this 5k ball ticket, a place to sleep and a dress lent to me, I was walking around unable to buy water or even pay for the Vaporetto ticket to get to the ball. And I asked my dad if he'd lend me £50, and instead of congratulating me on basically doing 3 weeks of travel where I organised everything on the go in a compte fashion in return for writing stories. Okay, that's not really the ethics of traditional journalism, but traditional journalism is what these days? People don't pay you. They don't pay you and you're expected to survive and get places. So I had organised about 21 days of compte travel, tickets to a ball, a dress for a ball, a place to stay, and my dad had a go at me because I couldn't buy a bottle of water or pay for my Vaporetto ticket. Finally he did lend me £50, but I wasn't celebrated for being smart enough to make that happen and strong enough. I was put down. So I'm Cinderella, I got to go to the ball, but it's not easy.
A poco si scioglieranno i ghiacciai dell'Antartide o dell'Artide, non mi ricordo mai.
We can take that one for us.